Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And this is going to be the first video in a series I call Getting Your Hike Legs Ready for the Season. So this series is going to be all about strengthening your lower body as well as your flexibility in your lower body for the ultimate mobility on trail. A lot of times we have issues in terms of our arches, our heels, and up through our hip flexors because we're not going through that full range of mobility. So these are going to be all about the lower body, starting from your hips, down through your quads, to your knees, to your calves, to your ankles, to try to slowly get your body ready for hiking or your backpacking trip. Now these are beginner exercises and stuff that you can do at home. I will be demoing on a stair stepper and a step stool, but you can easily do this on the steps with your banister at home. Or if you do have a step stool or some sort of step case, you can actually use your trekking poles if you need a little bit more balance. But really it's all about mobility with just strength and flexibility. So this is what this series is about. All right, let's get to it. So this first exercise here, they're called good mornings, and I don't really know why because I don't wake up in the morning like that. And usually it's because I need my cup of coffee. But they are good mornings, and what you want to practice here is really just opening up your hips and getting them ready. So you're going to want a flat back, you're going to squeeze your core and hinge at the hips. You're not going to try to curve over your back. It's really thinking about hinging like a door at your hips. And the second one we're going to do are leg swings. These are going to be basic leg swings. Again, it's all about the hips and mobility in your hips to open up that hip flexor. So you just want to start with swinging your leg forward and back, limited range of motion, especially for beginners. Now, if you feel these are too easy, you can gradually extend the length of your stride until you can get into a full lunge. But just doing it back and forth is really just what the exercise is about to get those hips moving. And the third exercise we're going to do are just going to be single leg step ups. So you do not want to alternate at first on these single leg step ups. So what you're going to do is take your step stool or your stairs and step up with one leg, tap at the top with the other, and step back down. Now, as you slowly move through these, if you want to make them a little bit more difficult, you can step up, do not tap, and step straight back down. And you can do that working your way up in terms of the height of what you are stepping on. So starting with a lower range step, a lower range stool, and then going to a full step stool to get the ultimate range of motion here. And the fourth exercise we're going to do today to get our hike legs ready are going to be calf raises. Now, calf raises, I think, are one of the things that people tend to forget when they are strengthening their lower legs. But calf raises are very important, especially if you have weak ankles or if you have the plantar fasciitis or if you have Achilles problems when you hike. I definitely have Achilles problems when I hike. So I've been working this year on trying to do more calf raises because if you think about where your foot is, this is my hand, but I'm going to pretend it's my foot. Here's your plantar, right? Your Achilles goes up into your calf. So this whole tendon needs to be strengthened and needs to work on flexibility. So calf raises are really important when you actually have foot issues when you're hiking. So what you're going to do is just start on that first step and go down and stretch all the way up. Try to get a full range of motion as much as you can on your ankle. This is one where actually your trekking poles or holding onto that stair banister is really important to make sure that you can get into the full range of motion. And you're going to want to do these with your feet facing forward and then facing out and also facing in. Just again, to get that full range of motion. That doesn't happen when we're actually out there hiking. It doesn't happen especially when we're wearing hiking boots or hiking shoes. So that's why I'm demoing today in my socks, or you can do it barefoot, whatever you want, is to try to get as much full range of motion as possible. And the fifth thing I want to show you today are ankle flexes. There isn't really a fancy name for this. I don't know why. So I named it ankle flexes. So ankle flexes is just pointing your toes out, squeezing your calves. So when you do squeeze your calves, your heels may come off the ground a little, and that's great. So squeeze your calves, point your ankles, and then toes up towards the ceiling, towards down, and up towards the ceiling. And then you can also do a little bit of alternatives on this by having your feet face out, roll them in, facing back out, and rolling back in again to increase that mobility. And then another thing, if this feels really good on your ankles and you want to continue with those strength exercises, is to just roll your ankles while keeping your calves tight. So trying to get those ankles off the floor as you roll them. So that's it. So as far as reps goes, I would say reps go. Okay, let's try reps go. You're going to want to start with 2 sets of 10 and then slowly work your way up to 3 sets of 10. This is going to give you the ability to strengthen those muscles over time and not have them wear out. So hopefully you can join me in our next video where we'll talk about flexibility within your lower body to get your hike legs ready for the season.